Hey everybody, it's about 11:20, just about on this December 3rd, 2011, and as you can see, this is for a video for the newer Sonic fans out there, basically the Sonic game fans that have supposedly started a petition to get the game removed from Archie, not the game, but get the comic book license of the game removed from Archie Comics and given to somebody else so that it can be more game based. Let me kind of explain the situation here. For those that are game fans and are probably wondering why people are upset, why other fans are upset about what Ian Flynn did recently. Now, I'm not saying any of you, the game fans, are not upset about what he's done either, because either you like a character or not. You just don't like the fact that, you know, he's built up this thing that took place during the summer and it didn't really pay off in your minds because it was being overshadowed about what happened to a certain character, about wondering what happened to a certain character. Now, let me kind of explain the situation for any of you new fans that are wondering why, you know, long-term fans, you know, like myself, well, maybe not like myself, maybe like I used to, but not anymore, why they complain about what Ian has done. Well, the situation is the Sally character in which I am talking about, in which this whole incident occurred on, this whole situation before Genesis and after Genesis occurred around. You know, despite what some people will say, and there's been numerous sources that have said this, Sally was the first official in the eyes of many, and many longtime fans, the first official love interest, the first official female member, along with, let's say, Bunny Rabbit and Art and all that, but the first official on-screen character in the Sonic universe, as well as Sonic the Hedgehog in particular, not just the games, but mainly, and not just the comics and the games, but mainly like the cartoons and all that. She was the first official one, and she surprisingly, and I think, you know, really surprised a lot of people, from the late Ben Hurst to Lynn Johnson to those working on the comic, like Ken Penders, Carl Bowlers, Mike Perithro, you know, those that worked around those areas, and even Ian Flynn, I believe, who was a fan at the time and is now the head writer, surprised him at how popular she had gotten, because basically this was not just any ordinary princess to where you had to go and save her. No, you basically had a princess that was on the field, was a leader, and did what she had to do. The thing is, and this is the thing that really appealed to a lot of people, and they liked about this character and what made them fans of hers. So this is why anytime something happens to her, or let's say if you're a supporter of her pairing, her romantic pairing and shipping with Sonic, that, you know, this is why a lot of these longtime fans get upset if there's any hint of a Sonic Amy pairing, or there's any hint of a Sonic Mina pairing, or any hint of a Sonic Blaze or Sonic whatever. You know, they get upset about this because they believe, as longtime fans of not just the character, but of the couple, that she is the only one for him. That's why they have this argument. Now, you know, again, anytime something, and again, this is why a lot of fans are upset. A lot of longtime fans of the character are not happy about what Ian has done. And this is why they're also not sure of exactly what he's got planned. This is why they don't trust him, because they don't know what he's doing. I mean, several sources have said that, you know, he has said this at his forum, that, you know, he's gone out and said that he's a strong supporter of the Sonic Sally pairing, and now all of a sudden in recent months, according to several sources, he's become more of a supporter of Sonic and Amy. And to me, the whole situation about that is, I think that's just to throw people off, because he wants you to keep guessing. And this is what one thing some fans don't like. They don't like the fact that he's playing this guessing game, especially with this character. You know, now I know there've been, I know a lot of you game fans that are fans of Amy and fans of Blaze and all that, they feel that one of them, and even Rouge, if you will, one of them is better for Sonic than Sally. You know, I can understand why you don't like her. You feel as though she's never really been part of the gaming franchise. She's never been in the games. Well, there have been several incidences or several evidence, several pieces of evidence that have come up that I guess prove people wrong there. For example, there have been pictures of her very early form from the very first game. Like, she's one of the animals that you rescue in the games, but I guess if you go beyond the game and into a story, she's also one of the animals that helps you out. And then there's of course Sonic Spinball, in which she appeared in a bonus stage in her original pink, in one of her first color designs, which is the pink design with black hair, where it was a bonus stage in Spinball where you had to rescue her, Bunny Rabbit, Rotor, and Tails. So, some people will say, well, that doesn't count because that was a bonus stage, and that's American Sonic, and that's by American Sega. Well, either way, she was still part of it. So that's one argument that the fans of the character will throw in the faces of fans of that are not in the faces of those that are not fans of hers, like you guys, because she was in the game. And then of course you got the prototype footage of what was supposed to be a game based off Sonic Sat AM, and then you got rumors that another game, which was going to be, I think, on the Sega Saturn or something like that, which was going to be based on Sat AM, and it was going to make all the characters Sat AM rise, from Sonic to Sally to Bunny and I think Tails and whoever else, playable. But that didn't occur. That was scrapped. So again, longtime fans of Sally can take all that evidence there and say, hey, look, you don't think she was in the games or she was supposed to be in the games? Well, you're wrong. Here's evidence. And that's why they get upset, basically, about why, and that's why, essentially, why they're upset about what Ian did in 230, at the end of 230. They don't like it. They don't like that he's done this, and they don't know, and they're afraid that he's going to make it permanent. I mean, with the people at TSSZ reporting from the Comic-Con in New York a few months ago, about a month or two ago, saying that this was going to be her design, or this was the way she was going to be going forward, that doesn't really sit well with fans, a lot of long-time fans. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of long-time fans, aren't happy about the direction she was put in the past few years, and all that, and they don't like, and I know a lot of long-time fans don't like the direction or the characterization or the characterizing, if you will, that was given to her by the likes of Carl Bollers or Ken Penders. But and I know a lot of longtime fans of the characters are kind of happy that Ian Flynn has kind of improved her and brought her back to who she was. But the thing is, that's when he started really. That was like between the issues, I think, of when he first started up to, I think, up to about maybe 180 or about 180, I believe. And then everything started to kind of go downhill from there, according to many fans. And I'm sure a lot of longtime fans were happy with 222, but then they kind of found it kind of hypocritical, if you will, that he just used that to create more drama for what has happened in 231. or in 2:30, that is, and they don't like it. They don't like the fact that he's teased up putting them back together, and then he does what he's done. That's why they're upset about it. And again, I understand. I understand that a lot of you longtime game fans or primary game fans who are supporters of the gaming aspects of Sonic, as well as probably support maybe Amy being with Sonic or Blaze being with Sonic or Rouge or whatever. You know, that you feel as though they should just let it go. You know, that you feel that it was the best decision he made, and and maybe in your own opinion you're right. Maybe it is a good decision what he made, but you know, again, you have to understand why a lot of longtime fans are not happy about it. And you know, speaking of games, you know, there have been recent evidence going around that Sally herself was supposed to be the princess in the negatively received Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, according to some reports or some sources and reports, that Sally herself was supposed to be the princess and not Elise. So, and that's from just several sources. But basically what I'm saying here, folks, is for those that are probably wondering what's going on, why is this war is happening, why a lot of fans are coming out and saying they hate what Ian's done with Sally, they hate the direction and all this. It's because a lot of they're basically like me, they're long-time fans that have been with the franchise since the beginning, and have looked at Sally as the first official girl in the Sonic franchise, and the first official love interest of Sonic. And you know, they just don't like what's going on. So that is why you have some fans, some of them basically hoping Ian gets removed from the book, not from Archie but from the book, you know, and also, you know, and book because, you know, and also because, you know, they want things to be back to the way they were. This is why they feel this way. And again, this and the way it relates, to you fans, the newer fans of the comic that have come in, that are mainly game fans that want the comic to be more game related, and maybe to those of you out there that started that petition to have the game removed, or not have the game but have the Sonic license removed from Archie and given to another comic company, but these longtime fans, maybe they're part of that reason and everything, and their love for the way things were, even during the early portion of Ian's run on the book, I can understand why you would want the comic taken away, because you don't want to deal with this no more. And you know what? Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if Sega decides to take the license away from Archie Comics or not. The thing is, no matter who's the comic book company, you're bound to you can't just expect a game to be all game, not a comic book issue to be all game related, like, oh, I'm just running through the hills, grab a ring, up, beat Robotnik, the end. You can't just expect that. You got to have substance, and that's what this book does at times. But again, the reason a lot of these longtime fans are upset about what Ian has done is because of the fact that longtime fans of the character and of the way the book was, and even during the early portion of Ian's run. So again, though, I can understand from your point that you don't want to deal with this no more, and that you want a comic book of Sonic that's more game based. And I can understand that. So, but I thought I'd just take this time to kind of explain the situation as to why a lot of longtime fans are upset about what Ian has done to Sally and what he's currently doing right now, so that some of you newer fans can have a better idea, or for some of you fans that have come on board, you're wondering what the heck's going on. There's your answer. So comment down below if you like, and hopefully I gave you a straight answer, and I'll talk to you all later.